Very good morning. Namaste. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Very interesting topic we have today. Every time you judge someone, you reveal a part of you that needs healing. And we don't realize that a lot of times without being conscious, in a very unaware state, we are usually passing statements of judgments. So it is important for us to understand that, firstly, what makes us judge? What makes us bring about a judgment? All of us struggle with judgments, isn't it? And it is our judgment of that person, that situation, that actually creates the trouble in our head. Otherwise, there's nothing to trouble. We see something which in somebody or around us, and then we have this thought of judgment which crosses our mind. Why is this like this? Why is she like this? Why did he say this? That judgment creates the problem. That judgment is coming from our mind. But what makes us judge? Yes, Vani?
Good morning. So,
Good morning.
Sujata, I think, sometimes I feel that we are just kind of born with it. Like every time we see someone, it's whether it's good or bad, we are constantly judging. Like, so I run a jewelry store. So, most of the time when a customer walks in, the moment the customer walks in, we kind of judge how well dressed is she, how much can she afford, what kind of a taste. And it's so surprising that people who are most simply dressed and pick up the most stylish piece of jewelry, and people who come across very fancy and very this thing are the people. So on a daily basis, we are kind of, God is always telling us that, your judgment is not the right judgment. So stop doing that. But I
Yes,
think it's so innate and it's like so embedded into us that we do land up judging anything and everything.
and we
Be
don't
it a,
realize it's judgment. Actually, we don't realize it's
yeah.
judgment. Yes, Neha?
So for me, like of lately, the more I've been kind of, studying myself or trying to, I've realized that I tend to judge when I consider myself for the most ridiculous reasons that I'm in a better place to know, or I'm smarter, or I know more. And I'm like, Arey, aisa, then I have to be like, that's when now I've learned to stop and say, what makes me a better judge? But I think whenever I judge, I come from a place of, like, oh, I'm better than this, or I know better.
Yeah, very good. Very big, very good point and valid point you brought up, Neha. And there are again, like I was just talking in the program before this to you, to some of you, that judgment is this statement that I am better or I am in a better place to know about this situation or pass a kind of a judgment on this situation. It comes from the place where I feel superior. It's my ego talking, isn't it? Otherwise, even if I know better, I will not come from the point of judging or even passing that thought in my mind. From my heart, I would say, I just wish this person could do this in this way, it will help them. But that's the heart space. Usually, when we say, like, even the gesture that you made, Neha, was like, I know better, I can do this in a better way. So that's the judgment. And actually, when it comes from the ego space, we know that the ego has a lot of fear. When it comes from that space, we're only kind of validating that fear that we are feeling. It's a threat that actually we are feeling. When Vani says somebody walks into the store, why are we judging? Why is she judging? There could be another person in the store who does not judge in that way, because those are the things that somewhere she would do or think of when she walks into a jewelry store. Okay, what would be my budget? We all think that way. But every thought, now we have to come into this space and allow our discretion in this way that every and any thought that we are bringing up is always coming from two spaces. So be very aware what you are saying or what you are speaking, from which space it is coming, because that shifts the whole thing from that thought putting you into an ego space with judgment, or that thought putting you into a healing space from the heart, isn't it? So that's the whole difference that you need to. And actually, the moment you judge or you speak in that way, immediately you feel, you if it's coming from the ego space, you don't feel good about it, right? And we say, like, I have found myself speaking this a couple of times, and it was pointed out to me, and now even I hear myself when I say, I'm saying this, but I'm not really judging, but actually I am judging. I may not be judging from the point of putting the other person down, but the fact that I'm saying it, that means that this statement, there is a judgment that comes in. So I'm in a way, kind of deceiving or lying to myself. We say this, I don't mean to judge, but it's happening. I don't mean to judge, but the judgment is just happening. Let's understand that aspect. The judgment is just happening and happening very, very naturally without awareness. But if we are picking up a part of judging the other person, there is definitely two things. That part of us, that emotion in us needs healing. For sure. For sure. There is absolutely no doubt in it. That thing that we are judging the other person for needs healing. And the next thing or the other thing is that there is a kind of a complex that I'm going through. I'm not feeling good enough. And I'm not willing to accept that goodness in someone else. Yes, Shivali.
Sujata, sometimes our experiences create judgments of people. What about?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the experience is, okay, this person was not good to me in the past. He or she always snaps at me. So now also if I speak to them, they'll just snap back. So what is the sense of speaking to them? Isn't it?
Yeah.
In a very subtle way, I'm saying there could be
Yeah.
so much more. Every time I give money to this person, they're lending it. They're asking me for money, I lend it, but they never return it. So that's a judgment in our heart.
Yeah.
But see, some level you have to apply that discretion, but you have to understand that this is the other person. This is how he or she is. So either don't come into that space that you want to interact with that person. And if you need to, you already know that. Don't be hurt. The thing is that all of us have a black, dark side, a shadow self, as we were talking last week. All of us have things which are not absolutely perfect in us. Why is it that we are seeing that imperfection in others and not so much in ourselves? Or even if we are seeing it in ourselves, do we want to confront it, or do we want to just shove it under the carpet? Now, when I say this, okay, this person is going to snap back, don't feel hurt with the other person snapping back. That is what I'm saying. We know that the other person will snap back, but I choose to be coming from a space of love. The other person will never snap back. But if I'm already coming from a space of judgment, from my ego space, that there's no use of talking to him because he's going to snap back. Understand that that person is full of only anger, that he's spitting out anger at you.
So basically, of what that.
That's where you need to grow and open your heart and say, okay, the fact that this person is shouting back, why will a person shout back? Have you reflected, why do you shout sometimes at anybody? Is it because you want to be, it's because you want to be heard. You feel that whatever I'm saying, nobody is hearing me. Is it the fault of the other person not hearing you? No, it is a fear within you. And do you like to shout? No, you don't like to shout. Do you like to be angry? You don't like to be angry. You're only doing that because you're full of that anger at that moment. If that person is full of anger or fear or negativity, he or she will definitely snap back. So choose what you want to receive from the other person. Say it with love. He may snap back once, he may snap back the second time, but you will say, I'm not going to talk this to this person. Now, at that moment, the person is going through something or has something. We come with so much of past. We only see a rosy picture in front of us, which is nothing. It is just like what the Facebook shows your profile as. Do you know the past that we all carry behind us? We don't know. So why do we want to go into that? Okay, that person is snappy, just bless that person and walk away. But our ego will immediately rise up. How dare she say this? How dare he say this? And then we go into that ego battle. Then I'll shout back, and then he'll shout back, and then she'll shout back, and it'll be a big war. So if you're not in a space where you can hear the other person kind of snapping back or saying something, and you feel you're not strong enough to hear that criticism or that whatever the other person is speaking or throwing at you, don't speak. Heal yourself first to that level and then be able to say that, dissolving this pain in your heart.
Okay. Thank you.
Is it making sense, Shivali?
Yeah. Yes, Sujata.
The more I'm moving on the spiritual path, I wouldn't say all of us here, we are understanding that we have to dissolve those separations. We have to dissolve those separations. How is it that if your child snaps back at you, you're absolutely fine, you feel hurt, but you go back to him or her after some time just because he is your child given birth by you. But if somebody else snaps back, you won't talk to them maybe for your life. Who knows what that person was going through at that moment? It may be very, very momentary. So what I'm trying to say is don't make a separation. Look at that other person also as an extension of you, just as you're looking at your child as an extension of you. Yes, it hurts. There is pain, but we still sometimes forgive. It's easier to forgive. It's not easy to forgive that. And you just form that thing in your mind. I'm not. And you're disconnecting. You're accumulating a lot of negative karmas for yourself, or dissolve it in your heart. You may not physically talk to that person or be in that person's vicinity, but in your heart, forgive and forget and dissolve it. And if you feel every time I'm exposed to this person, it just brings back something not nice in me, don't do that. But dissolve it. Dissolve that not nice feeling when you think of that situation or that person in your heart, because that is the imprint that will remain for lifetimes. Tomorrow it may be somebody else, then it will be somebody else, then it will be somebody else. Dissolve that uncomfortable feeling that comes inside you by doing some forgiveness, by letting go, whatever it is. And then just let be. But don't carry that pain with you. You stop talking to that person, or you're not kind of, connected to that person who made you feel, but heal yourself of that emotion. Does
Okay.
it make sense on a broader way?
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
going to just fix ourselves in small, small things.
Okay.
Yes, Snikha.
Thank you.
So, Sujata, it's not always that, just because you had a bad experience with this person, you are continuously trying to heal that relationship. I have even practiced the forgiveness, like, you imagine that you're forgiven and moved on and everything. But this person, and you have to have a relationship with them, like, it's just necessity. They would, so, I understand there are things about me which I cannot change, and I still want to change. Like, I want to be a better version of myself. But if I hear myself complaining all the time and I dial it, I do the same, I put out the same energy in that other person also. So even though I'm on the receiving end of that energy, I would be like, can you please shut it? I am sorry, but I am judging you because I feel I am in the same space. Might be a lesser degree, but I am in the same space and I'm still trying to heal myself. And if you don't heal yourself, you're going to sabotage this relationship with me. So yes, I'm judging. Like, what do I do?
So first heal yourself. Just as you're saying, I'm trying my best to do it, I'm not able to understand that the other person may also be trying their best, which is not visible to you. Your internal struggle is not visible. You tell the other person, can't you see I'm doing so much of an effort? The other person may also be saying the same way, can't you see I'm making such an effort? So don't try to fight it. I would say at that moment, just coming to, like last time we did that meditation, all this judgment is coming from the past. Just if you're in the present, tell me right now. Don't think of anything about the past with this person. Don't think what may happen ahead in this person with this person. Right now, be in your space and tell me, is there anything there to judge? No past and no future. No thought of the past or the future.
So, of course not. But what you just mentioned, that when you are on that spiritual path, you understand the deeper meaning of things, and there is no separation of me and this person. Like, identity nahi hai, right? But at the same time, you be like, ki, I cannot be this person, and that is judgment, right? That is what I'm.
I cannot be this person is not what I'm saying. I'm saying this person is also an extension of me. If my nose is crooked and my toes are very ugly, that is also an extension of me. I can't cut off my nose and cut off my foot, isn't it? I'm accepting that. That's an extension of me, which I'm not resonating with or liking at the moment. Right? And just because I'm looking at myself and I feel, oh gosh, why do I have this nose? Why do I have this nose? I can be struggling with it, or look at it and say, wow, what a unique nose I have on my face. You understand? They are an extension of you. It's not a separation. I don't want to be like this. I don't want this kind of nose. I wish it was small and petite and, whatever. You can be wishing, but this is what it is. Can you accept it? Can you accept the person? The moment you start accepting that person in the way that he or she is, everything will dissolve. Believe me, it will dissolve. Why am I trying to change that person so much? जब अपने आप से तो change हो नहीं रहा. Understand now. He's going to shout. She's going to say this. She's going to be sarcastic. She's going to criticize. Okay. Don't accept it, but listen to it. Take it. That's why we say, na, God has given us 2 years. Yahan se suno, yahan se nikalo, kam bolo.
Hmm.
But the judgment is not so much, he or she may have said something, but the fact is that you brewing it in your head for so long is what creates the problem, makes it so big.
Right.
Someone say, okay, yeah, you're looking so, your complexion is looking so dark today. And you'll to say, oh my God. And that whole thing, he didn't know I went for a holiday. I just got tanned, but I'm not like that. That conversation in your mind is killing you, not that one comment that the person said. And actually, it hurt you because you know that you've been trying to detan yourself, but it's not happening. So that is the reason that you're hurt. Otherwise, you will not be hurt at all.
Yes. True that.
Right? So just believe that and stop trying to analyze it to that level. Just cut cords there and then, connect at the heart. If you can, just say a blessing for that person at that moment. It really dissolves everything. Just in your heart.
I
God bless you.
imagine this big heart, a red heart, and I give that to that person in that moment. I've experienced that helps.
Sometimes when we are, and I experienced this very long back in one of my retreats, I remember the Muji Baba had come to Delhi and we had a retreat, not a retreat, just a satsang in Zorba. And he just said that when you're hugging somebody, just don't think of, okay, so Sujata is hugging Srishti or Tanvi. Don't look at it that way. Just think consciousness is hugging consciousness.
Hmm.
And we actually forget who the person is. When you're hugging somebody, like somebody you love, and the person is in presence, why do people say that, oh, I just don't feel like leaving that person? It's so nice to hug them. Because there is no separation. There is no separation. It is just one. It is just oneness. It feels an extension or a complete part of me. Because that person is in presence and isn't fully complete in the present moment. You are here, there, but when you hug that person, you come together you feel that because a part of you also wants to be fully present in that space, not wanting to be in the lower dimensions of judgment. Right? So when you connect, and that's why you don't feel like separation from the other person, isn't it? You feel that oneness, you feel that belongingness, which you're trying to get from in so many ways. That's why, so many times when somebody is angry, they just say, okay, just hug that person. Just try to, because the person is coming from a very dark space and they're in the lower chakras. They're totally caught and entangled down there. You need to help them to come up to a higher vibration, to a higher space. And it's not difficult at all, unless your ego pops in and says, but no, this could harm you. Last time he hit you. Last time she said this. Then it took you days to come out of it. That is all from the past that is popping up. But if you don't listen to this and just go and hug that person, the person will never push you away. And if they do, that really shows how much they are paining. Right? And actually, you will, more than the other person, you will heal yourself because you will just open up your heart center. You will just open up your heart and embrace that person. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be, you think that it's the other person is rejecting you, but first you will have to kill so many demons inside you to open your heart and step forward and hug them. Isn't it? When I say hug, I literally mean just share love with them. Just hold their hand, just, be silent and hold their hand. Let them speak. Let them speak. Give them a listening ear. What is happening? When we are listening, there's already a dialogue going on in our head. And what is that dialogue? Last time she said this, last time this happened, then they did this. So it's all there, all a matter of the past, and that is just because you are still carrying that pain body within you. That pain body needs healing. Right? So whenever you are judging somebody, that means that there is a part of you that needs healing. And a lot of times there's a kind of a complex. I'm using this big word as complex because we don't realize it. We feel we are coming from a very good, in fact, an awakened or a higher state of consciousness, but that's not true. We're actually caught up in a lot of the lower mess at that moment. And we are trying to validate ourselves by saying, see, he is not good. She always does this. So we are giving ourselves permission to be in the lower chakras, to be in fear, to be in negativity, to not allow ourselves to move up to our heart center and operate from there. Does that make sense? Please share. Anybody else?
Hi, Sujata, Neha here. So yeah, that made sense. Like especially the way you said, right? When using the tanning example,
Yeah.
that just struck me that ideally I would get really upset. Why is she saying this? But that is only because I know that I've been trying to de-tan myself and it's not working.
Yeah,
So
and I've
I
just
like
come on holiday, go on the beach, and I am tanned at the moment, right? But the fact is, they don't know that you've come from a holiday. You understand? Similarly, in the other way also, you don't know what past you're coming with. You don't know what all you're carrying from the past that is impacting the situation or the way the person is responding at that moment. And sometimes you may say everything is so fine in their life, everything they have everything. Why are they feeling that? But everything may be fine to you. They may not be feeling fine. And then each one of us has so much from the past, so much from the past that we are not even aware of, that makes us respond in a particular way, that makes us feel in a particular way. We know so many times when people are really loving around us, but we keep feeling rejected. And everybody may wonder, I mean, she's just the only child. She's always been pampered by her parents. She's married into a lovely family. Her in laws dote on her. But the person feels rejected. So the rejection is not coming from this lifetime. It could be coming from an imprint in the past. And there is more that the person needs to kind of receive or get to move ahead. They need to overcome or get a deeper sense of belonging to feel that that wound has got healed. And they may be trying and wondering themselves that everything I have, why do I feel rejected? And why is every time I feel, oh, I got left out, or why don't I feel that sense of belonging? It may be coming from the past. We don't know what stuff we are carrying. But the moment we are able to identify it, then we need to not, then we need to be in that space of awareness and not allow it to, make us fall down.
Yeah, like that statement of yours, the moment it was said, I was just imagining, something that's happened recently. And I just realized that maybe, like, as a little thing for myself, that maybe just realizing that a statement is just a statement versus
Absolutely.
internalizing it would really be helpful. Because, again, whether they know or not, but, often we attach so much meaning to even a mere observation, then it can ruin our day. And wo banda bolkar chalta bana hai that he's made a statement and we are the one festering,
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
unwanted annoyance and ill feeling towards the person. So yeah, that really struck out for me.
There are two things that you said. One is internalize it, meaning you go through that dialogue more and more in your head. Can we not just look at it as face value? You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. And secondly, uh, internalize and personalize. Don't personalize it. We say he said that to me. He just said
How
that.
dare
If
how
I
dare
don't
he?
accept it, it cannot be mine. 100% it cannot be mine. If
Yeah.
I accept it, then yes, sorry, it is going to impact me.
And I tell this to my daughter who's a teenager. I've been telling her for years. When she said, you know what, she said this to me, and I'm like, look, you're a donkey. And she's like, excuse me. I said, I called you a donkey. Does it affect you? Does that make you a donkey? She's like, no. So I tell her, I give her these examples, but when it comes to myself, you know, it's like I forget my own teaching for my own self.
Yeah.
So these talks are like my teachings, my teacher giving me that like, acha, dekh lo, sun lo, tum bhi sun lo.
Yeah, but the best way of learning is, I believe very strongly, I've been a teacher all my life and I still teach a lot, is by repeating the same thing. I remember initially in my days of Reiki, when I learned Reiki, one of my teachers, Rohit sir, he used to sit across when we used to have Reiki follow-ups. And he used to always say, and we used to be in a group, and he would be, of course, leading the uh, whole session. And he would say that you don't know when you're sitting there, when you come to this side of, and you see everybody looking at you, and you are speaking, and each word that you're saying is going, into that person's or affecting, maybe if there are 40 people, 40 children in the class, each one is interpreting that word or that statement in their own way, depending on their background, isn't it? So he says that when you sit on this side and you look at everything, then your judgments dissolve, because how many things can you kind of collaborate at that moment? So you have to speak from an absolute non-judgment space, looking at all of them together. Otherwise, we say, oh, this student, she will never understand it. So we've already affirmed that she can never understand it. So that becomes her struggle. And I will never, the person also somewhere feels blocked because my attention or my vibration going to the other person is that he's not going to understand it. And that's not true, right? That's not true. So when you say it, what I was wanting to tell you was that when you keep repeating whatever you're trying to even tell somebody else, it is also a reminder for yourself. And that's the best way of learning through teaching, because it's going through in your head again and again. And I will tell myself, oh, I'm telling her to do 21 days practice for Reiki every day. Am I doing it? So if I'm not doing it, I'm no one to tell her to do it. So in a way, you are reaffirming that whole statement to yourself. And the more you say it to yourself that, I mean, how can you be thinking of this? Or when you're telling your daughter, understand that you are listening to it yourself. It's a reminder for you. You remember the first week of the 6-week program that you were doing with me? When you hear the other's intents, bless them. Even if you don't know who the other person is. Just the moment you come into a space of blessing means you've already moved beyond the place of judgment. Otherwise, the mind will say, no, but why should I bless them? She's not speaking correctly. Her pronunciation is wrong. What words is she using? How could she be asking for this? That is all in the lower chakras. Forget it, whatever, just bless. The moment you bless, you come up to this level. Gratitude, appreciation, they're all high vibrations. The more we live with them, the more we receive.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So when you catch yourself, judging somebody's behavior, the way they walk, talk, interact, it may not always be that. It could even be just a part of a conversation, which is okay. That's why we call it so many times it's gossip. But if you carry back some residue from that conversation, that means that you have not really passed it off listened to it as literally a statement or a comment. That means there's something brewing inside you, and you have said it with that energy, and you're taking that energy back. And that's not healthy. And then we try to kind of, in our way, in our own, say, conscious or subconscious mind, we try to find ways to combat that negativity in our life in different ways, not consciously, maybe subconsciously. And that's what creates the problem. A lot of times people say, like today afternoon, we have a relationship clearing. And a lot of times people say that I'm just stuck in this one relationship with this one person. If I could make peace with him or her, my life would be so much sorted. That's only because we are judging that person, and we are caught in that loop of just getting caught in the lower chakras and not wanting to move out of our ego, because we want the other person to change and the other person may be wanting us to change. And there is a separation. But if we say, okay, can we not accept this person just the way he or she is? I don't like certain things. Let me not touch upon those topics as much as possible. We're always wanting to, okay, be the bigger person and say, okay, I want to heal you out of this. Let's talk about this. It's not making sense, because you've not healed yourself out of it. Otherwise, it will not disturb you. Yes, you may want to improve the person, but it will not disturb you from inside. So catch yourself. And we all do this. We all, fall into that space of judgment without really thinking. So just be more and more in awareness.
I have a question, ma'am. Like you said that we have to, what you mean here is that if we are judging a person on our issues, like regarding if somebody is doing something wrong and we are judging them according to our thought process, that is not correct. Maybe that is harming your personal life, your way of thinking, your emotions.
Yeah, you need to understand that why do you want that person or that thing to change? You need to think about it, that whatever you are speaking, what is the space from which you are speaking? You want to rectify something in the other person or the way the person is behaving. What is the space that one is that, okay, I want things to be my way. Right? It's like I have to go from here to here and I want to choose this path, this road, but the other person is saying, let's take this road, but you are absolutely disagreeing. It's okay, go that way. Why are we resisting anything in life? That causes the judgment and the pain. We want things to be, the other person to be doing the things. I mean, forget about other person. Like I was saying the other day, we even Ask God, please give me this in this time, in this way. I want this job. It should be close to my house. I should be given this position, and I really want it by the end of September. So, God, please give it to me. So, we are dictating our things happening in the way I want them to happen. But I have to grow. I'm limiting myself so much in that way, isn't it? I'm limiting myself. Maybe there's a better thing, there's a better route, or that path that we choose is much better. But I want it, I'm disturbed because the person is not doing the things, as you said, Vandana, in the way I want them to do. Right? And I know this is a very vast topic. There are things where we need to apply certain discretions. I'm not denying that at all. But usually the problem comes, okay, if the person is going that way and you're not, he or she is not listening, it's okay, just bless them and let them go. Why are you disturbing your okay? Why aren't they changing? Why aren't they changing? Why aren't they listening to me? Why aren't they doing it in this way? All that is just unnecessarily sabotaging your own mind, your own head.
Yes.
Right? Just trust. God is pushing them to go that way. Now you're only trying, you're not God. But if they choose to go that way, they choose to fall and learn, it's okay. That is how we all learn. And trust in the bigger picture. Don't think that you can handle this whole situation, because you can only handle it to that level. Further, only God can handle it. So
Sure.
just know that God is blessing, and if the person falls or makes a mistake, there'll be something or somebody to support them. Maybe you only. And it's the universe is telling you, come on, open your heart and let them fall. Have trust in the bigger picture, not just in your way of being.
Such a big thing explained in such simple words, ma'am. Thank you.
So it's just like, just understand, don't take anything in life so seriously. Yeah, it's all okay. It's not the end of anything. Listen to your heart. And even if it feels, oh, I'm breaking certain things, the other person may be disappointed. It's okay. If you really say those things from your heart, nobody will feel anything. They might miss you, or they might feel something in that way that, oh, I wish you were here. But it's okay. If you say it from your heart, it's always understood. If you have no intention of hurting the other person, it's always understood. And even if the other person feels hurt with you having no intention of hurting them, then it's not your problem. Then it's really not your problem.
Right, ma'am.
Right? So all you need to do is to just work on yourself. So simple, rather than trying to change this one and that one and then this one and that one. Effort, so much effort we are putting in, and then we feel tired for what? For no reason. Because the mind is putting in so much effort. Why isn't he doing this? She's not listening. Stop, yeah. Let them do. Say what you need to, and then just trust. God is helping them. God is showing them the way. And just say, God, please help them. We come to a dead end and then we say, अब मेरे से कुछ नहीं हो रहा, now God is handling. I just left it to God. All the while only you left it to God. We are thinking we are doing it. So don't fool yourself. So don't go till that level to exhaust yourself. Do what you need to, but just say, God, just be with me. I know you're handling it, and God's ways are always better than ours. God's plans are always better than ours.
Yeah.
So that bigger trust is what we need to really, really live with. That's very important.
True.
Sujata, so what if in your a constant toxic energy, right? Because the externals are telling you like 5 hours a day you are in that energy, hearing things, and you want to protect yourself, right? You are kind of judging कि ये toxic है, right? Because आप सुने जा रहे हो, and then आप नहीं भी चाहते, you're going to take 1% of it, and then you're going to put in a overthinking session into that. And then you'll be like, I didn't even want to think that way. Why did you come my way and do this to me? Like, I didn't want to be a victim to you. So, and if you're trying to protect yourself, because there are days when I do that, you're like, I don't want any part of your energy to flow into mine. Then it's like, oh, she's arrogant. Matlab, there is no escape.
Yeah, because I'm sorry to be saying this, but there is a sense of victimization and arrogance in the way you are saying this now. Don't take me wrong. Please don't take me wrong.
I want to know.
I'm saying this because till the time we are blaming, all our focus is outside. I'm listening, they're going on speaking. And why are you listening? You just be there and just say, okay, you know, it's like the person will go on speaking. Don't accept it, no? If you're in that energy for 5 hours and you need to be around that person, form a nice protective shield around you. And, you know, just try to put a smile on your face. Just try to keep blessing that person and say, अच्छा, उसने तो बोलने हैं 5 घंटे, कोई बात नहीं, बोलने दो. But I don't need to listen to every statement. But for that, you have to really come into that space with your heart open and say, understanding that that person is only venting, and don't internalize, don't personalize. Don't think she's saying it to me, even if she's saying, Snigdha, you are this, Snigdha, you are that. Don't think she's saying it to you. You are in that periphery, and that is why there is some kind of a karmic bond. In fact, he or she is your biggest teacher because they're really pushing you. Come on, and they're throwing you into the deep. You have to learn to swim, Snigdha, otherwise you will drown. Right? So yeah, every day in your prayers, literally thank them, bow down to them and say thank you for doing this. And but it's only going to help me
You
grow.
know, I have actually put in her name in my gratitude journal because I feel like if I put her in the higher vibration, maybe that'll help me.
Now see, again you are like,
Judging.
can you not put yourself in the higher vibration? Stop.
Sorry?
Can't you put yourself in the higher vibration?
I try to. So,
So if
like
you are
I
in the, 1 minute, 1 minute. If you are in the higher vibration, her words will not impact you. But if
Yeah.
you are trying to push her in the higher vibration, तो वो भी थोड़ा सा high आ जाते हैं, आप भी थोड़ा सा high जाते हो, फिर confrontation हो जाती है. You understand? So
Yeah.
just अगर डालना ही effort, put yourself in a higher vibration. So वो नीचे से बहता जाएगा. It doesn't matter. Just let it go. Come, go. You be up there and look at all the drama below. It's only a drama. It's only a play. It's just a role play. Nothing more than that.
Got it.
Makes sense? So yeah, put all effort only on yourself. Stop putting effort on the other person, please. Maybe there is a deep sense of separation, and don't think, okay, you're coming from a good space that I've put it up that the other, she should be in a higher vibration. She may not have the ability to be there, but you are aware that you can be in a higher vibration, and that can really give you a, you know, a sense of peace. So put yourself in that high vibration. Use all that effort to raise your energy high. Keep, while she's speaking, just keep saying thank you in your heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. ध्यान उधर जाएगा ही नहीं. It's only because you're listening to what she's saying. Why can't you focus on something else at that time? You know, just keep chanting in your heart. Just keep focus on what you're doing. Let her speak and just keep nodding your head and say, okay. You don't need to listen because, you know, it's only putting you down. Why are we listening so intently to that conversation or that whole, you know, be in that energy of toxicity? Try to, the moment you come into a high vibration, half the toxicity will dissolve. I'm not saying you are creating that toxicity, but the fact is that whole environment around is such that it is toxic. So you bring in the light into that environment, into that room or that home or that space, and you carry your light and just forget about the other person. It's like the room is dark. I have to sit in a dark room for 5 hours, and the other person is not switching on the light. So you switch on the light. Darkness to disappear ho jayegi na. But she likes to sit in the dark. Okay, then let her sit in the dark corner. Just switch on a light for your corner. That light will surely permeate to some level beyond you also, isn't it?
Thank
Yes.
you.
The statement that you said, Snigdha, was so powerful because this is just showing that you're trying on one end to really improve yourself, really not get caught in that. I understand that, and I'm really happy that you're sharing it with so much honesty, that you're really trying. But the fact is, a part of you still feels that she is at fault. She may be, I'm not denying it, but the fact is that if she is at fault, that is her. Don't try to rectify that. Just try to put yourself a little higher and accept that, okay, this is how she speaks, this is how she says, this is what she's, whether she means it or she doesn't mean it, that interpretation comes by all the internalization. Why does she say this? I'm always so nice to her, I've given up my life, I've done this, I've done that. That whole conversation in your mind is hurting you more than just that statement of what she's saying. And when she says something, if you just look up to her and give her a nice smile, she'll wonder what's wrong with you. I mean, she'll say, yeah, but she's being sarcastic. She's not even listening to what I'm saying. Then you can just in your heart say thank you and look up and smile or nod your head. Just try to not speak. The reason that the confrontation or the judgment comes in because there's an egoic part of us which pushes us to retaliate at that time, whether it's in our words or in our actions or just in our thoughts. We may not be able to speak up at that moment for that person or against that person, but the whole thing in the head has actually become so powerful because the mind has told you, how dare she? You know, you've been doing so much every time she does this. That whole conversation of blame has come in your mind and you're totally believing what your mind is creating. It's your reality. And that is what is causing the problem. So stop, catch yourself there. The moment you smile and you say thank you, actually it disappears. When you keep saying thank you, it totally disappears. So try this out. And don't smile with sarcasm, just smile from your heart for yourself. You know, think of something that you like, you love. Keep bringing that image to yourself. These are just simple ways of opening up the heart center. You know, we all have certain special moments in our life. Maybe it could be some teenage romance, it could be something in school, it could be something, you know, when you got married, when you first saw your child, or your child achieved something, your child got married. You have some moments in your life when you just think of them, they just awaken every cell in your body, and there's a whole, you know, a sense of kind of awakening within you. Keep these few memories with you all the time in your mind. Think of sitting on a beach, think of sitting on a, you know, walking on a hill, trekking up, clear sky, standing, you know, somewhere in a place where you really love, holding somebody's hand, knowing that the person is next to you. Just simple things which take you away from all this mind chatter and open up your heart, bringing you into this high vibration that you're struggling to reach to. Arey, wo bahut upar hai, kaise chadungi? Just stand here right now. I'm going to make you do this. It just comes to me while I talk to you. Let's do this for the next minute or so that you can, you know, allow yourself to open your heart center and be in that positive space. Should we do that? Anybody has any questions? Okay, let's do this. This is called opening of your heart center. So just center yourselves. Take a nice deep breath. Close your eyes. Let's fully arrive here. And when I say nice deep breath, meaning your focus is totally, your attention is totally on the in-breath and the out-breath. And you can shift your awareness to the tip of your nose. Gently breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And when your focus is at the tip of your nose, move this breath a little deeper and breathe into the center of your chest, to your heart center. Feel your heart center, the center of your chest, not your physical heart. Our physical heart is to the left, but the heart center is at the center of our chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in to the center of your chest and breathe out. And then bring into your mind's eye any past issue, situation or event or moment which really made you happy. Just think of yourself lying on a beach, lovely sound of water, clear sky, just totally relaxing, sitting on a mountain, whatever you brings that joy into you. Thinking of your children, thinking of your grandchildren, thinking of the person you love, something that happened when you were in school, anything, just bring that thought into you and be with that thought. And bring that thought as you're breathing into the center of your chest and feel that subtle shift in your vibration. Just be with that one thought. You have that vision when you first saw your child, or your child achieved an award, or you got some good news on the phone, anything like that. Just be with that one incident in your life. And breathe in this vibration, this gentle, subtle, joyous vibration in your body, in the center of your chest. And then the mind will say, oh, I have to do this. Stop. Come back to this thought, to this incident. And feel that joy spreading into every cell of your body. Just be with this sensation, this vibration. And just imprint this sensation, this vibration into your body by just tapping at the center of your forehead, the third eye, just in between your eyebrows. Just tap here and breathe this feeling in. Breathe this joyous feeling in. Let a smile come onto your face. Feel this joy running through your entire body. And just in your heart, send a reminder to your mind that whenever you feel that you're struggling with some thought, some action, may this reminder pop up in your mind. This joyous incident in your life. Just set that intention that you are reminded of this vibration and let this vibration be embedded in every cell of your body. And then breathe right up to your feet and back, spreading this joyous vibration right from your toes to your crown center, top of your head. And then feel gratitude for this moment, this person, this incident in your life, and how much joy it brought you, and you carry that imprint of joy. And then with gratitude, you may open your eyes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Carry this joy vibration with you through the day, and remember, next time you're feeling hot, just remember to come back to this incident. Just come like this, let that flash, just that flash comes of, oh my God, that negative flash comes in the same way, just bring in this flash instantly into your mind. And just say thank you. Just say thank you for this blessing in your life. Keep thinking, even if it is in energy work, we say fake it till you make it. You will see how much, like, I'm sure, let me know what you are feeling. Anybody can share.
I think very calm, like
Right.
all of us.
Calm, and isn't there like a nice happy feeling that we're all somewhere feeling inside us?
Auntie,
Yeah.
happy and calm.
Yeah, relaxed. Yeah, relaxed.
Yeah. Just be with this. Let whatever toxicity be where it is. It cannot touch you. When you have this aura of joy around you, it cannot touch you.
Right.